Hi. Let's get into it. So, if I were to write a book based on completely fictional characters, a very nice story, would you, as a bookshop owner, place it under women's studies because I, the writer, am a woman, or just fiction? I know it's a silly question, but think about it. How much importance does the artist's identity hold? Like, where does he or she come from? The color of their skin, ethnicity, or gender? How much of it is important when it comes to the value of the art that they've created or are trying to create? Is racism prevalent in industries like publishing? Is there such a thing like reverse racism? These are just some of the questions that this film answers. The film that we'll be talking about today is American Fiction. Thelonious Monk Ellison, effortlessly played by Jeffrey Wright, is a has-been novelist now struggling to create, frustrated by the fact that just to be rich he has to play it down. That often being an artist means creating things that are popular. He admittedly doesn't believe in race, but that changes when he goes back home, which is Boston. And as soon as things get too much, because there are so many unfortunate events that just keep on happening, the film pulls you right back up. The screenplay is such that when you're at the brink of shedding a tear, the screenplay pulls you right back up with a fit of laughter. That's the best thing about this film. It's so funny, incredibly inappropriately funny. So yeah, he goes back home, reconnects with his neighbors, his loved ones, brother, sister, mother, a neighborhood friendly cop. And he realizes that people around where he lives in LA treat him like a black man because he is, and it is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing at all. It is amazing to see how the film gives you a sneak peek into the culture of black people, their lives, their mannerisms, language, without actually setting out to do so. So that's something I really loved. This is when Monk decides to go into a different direction and create while catering to the white crowd, which also happens to be one of the things that I didn't like about the film. To do away with the idea of a white savior completely, they made these white characters much like caricatures, and there was no depth to the characters who were white. It's much like Monk's agent. I think he mentions that white people don't want to read the truth or want to know the truth. They just want to be absolved. It's pretty much what you get. Not a complaint, just an observation. Coming back to the story, Monk decides to write a novel under a fake name, posing as an ex-convict who speaks the language of the streets, who hangs up the phone with an agent saying, "That's all, motherfucker." He is basically as black as possible from a white lens, and he calls this novel Fuck. This is where everything changes. Suddenly, there is critical acclaim, awards, movie offers, deals with Michael Jordan, apparently, and whatnot. He becomes the very thing he hates. But as Clifford, Monk's brother, says, "Monk, you have a lot of people who want to love you. I have no idea why, but let them love all of you." These people remind Monk that not being able to relate to anyone or not having the ability to even try to relate to anyone is not something you wear as a badge of honor. They humble our Monk. They are more Monk than Monk himself. And he realizes this, and the movie ends with Monk pitching movie ideas to a director. And we get to see these bunch of funny endings to this movie that he's pitching. And you wonder how the actual movie would end. They end up making the movie, and yes, Monk is now a sellout, which is fine because when you're trying to create and when you don't have money to create what you want to create, you have to sometimes be a sellout. Another movie reference. Johnny Walker sells red, black, and blue label. And I think, much like Mr. Walker, creative arts should be all about the pursuit of being versatile. You can watch the film on Amazon Prime Video. Happy watching.